Hi everyone, it's Deb Raven here, and today I am beyond tickled to introduce to you the awesome Tara Bateman. Welcome, Tara.
Thank you, Deb. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, I wanted to with you today to have you share a little bit about your journey regarding working with me. So, just for reference, Tara is a recent graduate of my 10-week recalibration Rev Up program, and she is an absolute rock star who did all of the work, who went through all of the wobbles, who went through all of the uncomfortableness to figure out what she wanted to do next in her work life. And I asked Tara to join me today because she's a great example of what you can accomplish if you really put your mind to it. So, Tara, how I would like to start this conversation is, can you just tell us a little bit about who Tara is?
Sure. So again, thank you for even taking time to chat with me today. I really appreciate it. So a little about me. I absolutely love to learn, and that has been a positive for me. And at times, oh, whoops, what am I doing? So just over the past 30 years or so, I've been working, been in the workforce. I've worked traditional jobs. I've tried network marketing. I've worked at private dental practices. I've worked for large corporations. I've worked for nonprofits. I've even tried my hand at having my own business. Yeah, the gamut in several different states throughout the country. So I have the work experience. I have tried very hard to be diligent in whatever job it was that I was doing. What I have found is I can do several things, but I was having a hard time finding that thing that I really liked to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember, Tara, when you first reached out to me, I was blown away with the amount of experience that you have and the number of things that you've tried and everything that you have done up until this point. The common thread was something that really connected to you, something that mattered to you, something that gave you that sense of purpose. And, what I've noticed over the years of doing this is that we can often have that in a particular job or industry or organization, but then somehow it goes away. Something happens, things change, companies change, companies evolve, we change, we grow, we evolve. And then all of a sudden, it just doesn't feel quite right anymore. So, when you shared with me all of your previous experience and your desire to figure out what it was that you wanted to do next, I was certain that I could help you. And, making that decision to kind of take my hand so that I could guide and lead you through the process, um, I know for you was a very empowering decision because once you made that decision, it was go time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So think back to that, Tara. Like when you first reached out to me, what was your motivation for reaching out?
I needed clarity. So, like I said, I've had several different jobs, several different experiences. I have several different interests, and I was just all over the place in the midst of looking for another job. And I also wanted to have that sense of fulfillment, right? Not just going in kind of Fred Flintstone, right? Punching the clock and waiting for the whistle to blow. But yeah, I really wanted it to be meaningful. So one of the things, like you just said during our conversation, you said, I can help you. And that was just like, right, light shines down. I have help that can help me. And so yeah, that was really, really important for me. And I really feel like I was I was at a point of I've got to do something different. And there's that saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
I 100% agree with that. And, you know, you were at that point where you were, your motivation was very strong to make a change. So
Yeah.
why was it important for you, Tara, to dial this in, to kind of figure this out?
So I remember even when I was approaching 50, and I'm 52 now, but even when I was approaching 50, I really wanted to embrace this next part of my life. I didn't want it to be, oh, all of a sudden now I'm getting all the aches and pains. I'm going to the doctor's office every other. Like I just didn't want that. I really wanted it to be exciting, fun, meaningful. I keep using that word, but that was really what I wanted. And recognizing that work is a big part of that, right? It's been a
Mhm.
struggle for me. Like I said, I've had different jobs, but being able to find the fulfillment in work and the income,
Mhm.
the income that I needed and wanted, it's been lopsided. And so at this point, I was like, okay, let's get off of this seesaw, get off of this merry-go-round, and make things happen.
Yeah, you explained that like really, really well. And that's a issue that I often hear women saying is that if you do heart-centered work, something purposeful, something meaningful that gives you fulfillment, you have to compromise your income. There's either this or that, right? There's this high-powered corporate job that feels kind of icky, doesn't align with your values, or you can do like meaningful work, but then you get paid like, you know, not a lot of money. And, you know, you discovered that you can marry those two things together. If
Yes,
you articulate your true value to a prospective employer um, with that identity of being an absolute Wonder Woman, magical things happen. So,
yes,
yes, Wonder Woman. It's a great identity for you, Tara.
yes.
So, I'm thinking back to when we first started working together and some of the challenges or some of the uncomfortableness that you went through. So if you think back, what was the first thing that I asked you to do, Tara, within the realms of us working together?
Hmm. One of the first things that I remember is you told me to look at my schedule and block off time to do the work. And I also remember, just as a follow up, you said, so the first few weeks are all about the inner work. And I remember thinking to myself, um, Deb, my inner is good. It's the outer work part that I need help with. So I was like, okay, okay, okay. This is what Deb said. Let's give it a go. And to your point of being able to kind of shine to a prospective employer, right? To be able to show myself, to be able to even just articulate who I am and what I can do. I did have to do that inner work first so that I was clear on who I was and I was clear not just what I could do, but who I could be. And I think that's one of the
Beautiful.
biggest takeaways. There's tons of takeaways I have from working with you, but one of the biggest takeaways is the being part of me.
Beautiful. And I remember also somewhere midway through our work together, that was kind of your homework was how can you be more present so
Yes,
that we're always anticipating what's going to happen next because that can take away from the joy of the present.
yes.
And I remember another thing that I suggested to you very early on in the program where there was a little bit of resistance, and that was to trust the process.
Absolutely correct. Yes, you did tell me I needed to trust the process. And I have to be honest, I didn't understand it in the beginning. And I also knew I needed to do something different than what I had been doing all this time in order to
Yeah.
get the different results that I wanted. But yes.
Yeah. Sometimes trusting the process when you're starting work and you want to find or create work. And then you do some inner stuff and it's like, oh, for heaven's sakes, like what is this? Like, what did I sign up for? But that is the foundational piece to the work that we do together, is to set you up in that rock star identity so that you can confidently make better decisions for yourself. And I'm really glad that you just said, at first I didn't really understand what that meant, trust the process, but you get it now. Trust the
Yes,
process, trust you, and
yes.
trust myself, right? That you will be held and guided through this to make sure that you're successful. So during our 10 weeks of working together, Tara, there were some amazing things that unfolded for yourself. So where are you today?
Woo! So today I am preparing to start my new job, for which I am so excited. Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
my friend.
It embodies and encompasses and involves so much of who I am, so much of what I like to do, so much of how I want to contribute to the world. And the money, honey, yes, and the money part. And so I'm just very excited I'm very excited to start this new job. I'm very excited that I get to show up how I want to show up, right? Because they don't know me. So I get to show up as Wonder Woman. And
Yes,
then
you
that's
do.
all that they will know is Wonder Woman. I love it.
That's right. That's right. And, Tara and I were chatting a little bit before this recording, and she was saying that now the onboarding process is starting, and every one of their emails to her is like, we're so excited to have you like start. And she is so excited, and I couldn't be more happy for you, Tara, um, to have found and created a position for yourself that has potential. Her new employer is already talking about what she's going to be doing next as she
Yeah.
learns and grows in the initial position. What's next for her? And as Tara started off this conversation, she loves to learn. That is highly motivating for her, that potential for more. And now, not everybody wants that at this stage in their life, but Tara does. Tara is not finished yet and wants it all. Yeah, that's
Definitely.
awesome. So, Tara, you've done the work, you did the inner work, you did the outer work, you were stretched outside of your comfort zone, you fully stepped into your Wonder Woman identity. So, what would you tell other women who are struggling with not knowing what they want to do for their work? They're kind of feeling stuck, they might be feeling bored or miserable in the situation that they're in, and they just don't know what to do. What would you say to them?
Wow. First, I would say be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. You may not know what you want to do, but something that Deb really, really, really helped me with was that I know what I know, right? And I was like, whoa, baby, I know a lot. And no one can take that away from me. So even in my discovery and journey of what it was I wanted to do for work and income, there was still a plethora of things and information and knowledge and experience and skills and talents and abilities that I was like, but no one can take that away from me. And so I really found strength in that. And that was a big part of what would push me right during those times when it was challenging, because it did get challenging several times, but it was that knowing, right? It was that confidence um, that helped me continue on.
That's awesome. And, learning to have that confidence kind of rise to the front instead of taking a back seat is a real game changer. And we forget as women all of these wonderful things that we've done and all of these skills that we've accumulated. But
Yes.
we also tend to put our interests and our passions and our values to the side. And sometimes, like at earlier stages in your life, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, you do what you have to do. Like you have to pay the bills, maybe you're raising a family, whatever the case may be. But often after the age of 50, we get to make different choices for ourselves. And even if this is the first time you've ever done this kind of work, you owe it to yourself to do this kind of work because this is your
Yes.
life, for heaven's sakes. Yeah, good. So, any parting words, Tara, that you'd like to share with other people who might be listening, might be sitting on the fence, might be skeptical about, oh, I can do this on my own, or, I really don't need to pay for help. Any parting words or parting words of wisdom that you want to say?
Hmm. You owe it to yourself to make the investment. You owe it to yourself to make the investment in you and get the help that you need so you can stop being stuck, so that you can stop being frustrated, so that you can just live that full life that you've been desiring, right? Usually, when our 50s and 60s and beyond, we've been wanting that thing for a long time. And I just say, stop with the wanting, make the decision, talk to Deb, do what you need to do, sign up, make the investment, make the sacrifice, right? I had a time of sacrifice when I decided that I was going to work with you. I cut off several things, but I was like, you know what? It's fine, right? No more nail appointments. I'm back to natural nails now, right? That was just one of the things, but it was worth it. It was so worth it because now here I am on the other side and I'm ecstatic.
Awesome.
Ecstatic. Yes,
So, it was worth the investment for you, Tara.
most definitely.
And, it was worth the investment for me too, because what you brought to my life in terms of your energy, your enthusiasm, your motivation, what you brought to our group component of the program was infectious. Everybody loves you. Everybody aspires to be just like Tara with that Wonder Woman identity. And what I know to be true is that everybody has that inside of them. Sometimes we just need a little encouragement and support in order to remind yourself of who you really are. So, thanks, Tara, for being here. It has been an absolute pleasure connecting with you today. Thank you so much for taking the time, and good luck in your new venture of your new job.
Thank you.